Alright y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. So at the time of this recording, I'm almost at about 80,000 subscribers, so that should probably give you a little bit idea of how I actually record these videos. But yeah, I basically do it like a week, maybe even like a week and a half prior is when I actually do the recording. So when I get all of your recommendations, I'll put them on a list and I'll sort of prioritize it just based off of how many recommendations for that specific topic I actually get. So this one I've been getting a lot recently. This is actually the Aero 19 training event. This is between the US Marines and then also a Finnish unit, and I'm not actually sure which unit specifically. It looks like it just says the Niinisalo garrison. So I guess that's an actual place. So it might just be conscripts in that particular region in Finland. But this is the Aero 19 training event. It looks pretty good. Now, I'll say right off the bat, this is not normal Marine infantry. This is actually the second LAR unit, which is the light armored reconnaissance. Now, with the light armored reconnaissance, they are infantry, but at the same time, they're not really as proficient with the dismounted. So I will give that caveats right off the bat, because yeah, I'm not surprised if we're going to see some janky tactics or just some weird stuff. So we'll keep an eye out for all of that. But it'd be cool to see how they work with the Finns for sure, especially with these like sort of NATO training events or whatever you want to call this. It's really cool to see how everything is like really put together. Because I know when we worked with like the Brits, the Romanians and whatnot, it's really cool to see what sort of equipment the other people can bring to the table. Like the Romanians were just using their RPGs and whatnot, and that was pretty cool. But oh yeah, so I had one of you guys send me this movie, Unknown Soldier, and I gotta say, it was amazing. Luckily, it wasn't dubbed. It was just, it had English subtitles, which, I mean, I prefer. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of dubbing movies just because it sort of takes some of the emotion out of it. But yeah, this was a fantastic movie, so I really do appreciate all you guys recommending it, and I appreciate the fan for sending this over as well. So very cool to check out. Now I do have a schedule that basically spreads it out, so I'm not just reacting to one country over and over again. But yeah, I wanted to do this one specifically just because I was really motivated after this movie. It was a very impressive movie, so yeah, we'll get into it. And I think I have a little bit better appreciation for how Finns fight just based off of watching that movie. But let's get into it.
Well, let's go this way. Are we dead?
Okay. Alright, already I don't know who this guy is, but he's just like running around with a pistol and it just looks kind of funny. Very loud. Okay. So they do look like they're integrated within like the same squad.
So we're gonna hold here in a hasty defense. We're gonna get all of our scouts online so our artillery clears out. Then we're gonna keep pushing. Yeah. One of our butt.
So I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it. So sometimes when we do training like this, some of the soldiers from the other countries will get integrated into our actual squad and utilize their own weapon systems. Sometimes they'll get integrated and use our weapon systems just so they can get a feel for everything. And sometimes you just sort of work alongside. Like for me specifically, when I trained with the Romanians, it was my squad and then another Romanian squad, and we were sort of online with each other, but we weren't necessarily integrated. So it's always cool to see how these training events will go if they'll actually integrate it totally. I mean, it helps to see both sides of it, but at the same time, you're going to be a little bit better. If you're trying to do it for the cameras and trying to make it look good, you're probably going to just be with your actual unit because you're more familiar with them. But cool to see. So we got AT4. Got their vehicle right there. So I guess that computer is used for like battle tracking possibly, or maybe fire missions or something. Yeah, okay, I figured as much. So you can see he is using a BFA or a blank firing adapter. So that's what the red thing is on the barrel. if you can really see that. But with those, man, it's really like hit or miss if it's going to work reliably. And when you're using full auto, a lot of times it'll jam. Even if you're going semi-automatic, sometimes you just have to shoot rack. So let's keep an eye out for that. See if we have a lot of guys having that issue. But yeah, blanks can be a pain in the butts. But if you're not familiar with these sort of training events, what they're wearing is sort of like it's kind of like laser tag, sort of like military laser tag. But it's really cool. They have the blank firing adapters. They have a sensor that determines when the shot actually goes off. It sends a laser, and then it hits the other person's like gear if they're actually on target and if they zeroed their weapon properly. So that's what's going on here. Pretty decent training, but sometimes it can just get pretty frustrating, especially with blanks. Looks like they have their own version right there. Okay, so it really didn't look like much, but what you can see is this dude sort of cuts his buddy off, which is not something you want to do, but he had like the initiative to actually go around him instead of just pushing up and staying like on the same side and getting really bunched up. You can see he pushes up to his side, so he just goes around him. So that's pretty good thinking right there. These guys just standing out in the open and whatnot. I know there's not a whole lot of cover, but still. And that especially. That can get sketchy. It's a big bullet magnet. There it is. Bolt action. Alright, yeah, if you didn't hear, he was like, he's dead. So a lot of times when you're using blanks, the gear doesn't work properly, or sometimes the laser doesn't get it picked up because it hits like a stick or something. So it is good training in theory, but a lot of times it can just be a pain in the butt. So you see people getting frustrated like this all the time, where they're just like, alright, he's dead, I'm just going to move on. He also wasn't wearing any eye protection. It's all fun and games until you get a stick in the eye.
See right through there? We're going to get a shot. Go over there.
I don't know what's going on. It's kind of just like a big mess of people, it seems. With the tracks just pushing up. It looks like nice weather though for this training for sure. Just not a whole lot of cover. Yeah, look at that camouflage job. I think the Finns did a better job at camouflaging. Yeah, so normally when you're like preparing like the AT-4 or like any sort of anti-tank weapon, if you're doing anything like that or any anti-armor weapon, generally you'd want to pick up the rate of fire just so the dude has a little more security while he's prepping it. And then when you actually like launch the rocket or what have you, then you'd also pick up the rate of fire just to keep people suppressed at that last second. And then whenever like explosions go off, so if you're using like an anti-tank weapon or if you're throwing a hand grenade, you want to try and exploit that a bit. So whenever it goes off, you want to push up while the enemy's sort of stunned. So I'm not sure if we're going to see a whole lot of that in here. That's just based off of how they actually cut the clips and whatnots. But yeah, it's just a little insight. I'm not really sure what's going on. A lot of times with these training events, you don't necessarily have a good idea of who's left, like how many enemy are left, especially in an environment like this. So yeah, sometimes it can just get a little bit slow. And you don't necessarily even know when you're getting shot at. Sometimes your laser gear will make like a sound if someone's shooting near you, but it's different from actual rounds where you're seeing impacts, hearing impacts, or hearing it even go past you. So it's good training, but yeah, sometimes you just get these slow moments. I bet those drivers are stressed out, having to be careful of all the dudes laying down and whatnot. Getting nice and dirty. The dude seems really young. I don't know why. He looks like he's about 17 years old, but I mean, he seems like he's speaking with a good level of assertiveness. So I don't know. Kind of surprised me, really. I didn't expect that kind of voice coming from him, but I mean, good on him.
That way. If you look over there, that entire hill is loaded with enemy troops.
And then you got this Marine with this loose helmet cover and no magazine pouches. All right, who is this dude? Look at it. He's got no magazine pouches. He's got what? Is that 2 grenade pouches? And he's got a loose helmet cover. Oh man, he looks all sorts of eaten up. At least this dude, he has got like camouflage. He's got like eye protection. But this dude, I don't know. He's just doing his own thing. It's not leading by example. Oh, his BFA is working. What? Okay, what is going on here? There's like people just like facing all different directions, people shooting, people just talking out in the open. I don't know, it's weird. Oh, dude, that means like that's like what the fuck, isn't it? Is that what he said? That Mita Vitua? I want to see that again. I think his weapon was kind of being crappy. Ah. Yeah, his weapon's jamming. That's funny. What in tarnation is this? Alright. This... I guess it's raining a lot. Alright, well, this right here is what we call a gaggle fuck. When you have a bunch of people just chilling really close to each other and no one's really in like the best cover, yeah, it's kind of messy. This dude's wearing like a shemagh randomly. Yeah, they're all kind of just chilling. So right now what he's asking for is an ace reports, so that's like ammo, casualties, and equipment. So basically if you say ace reports, the people inside your team or your squad just be like, okay, I have 1 magazine, no casualties, I have all my equipment. So it'll be like 1 mag, green, green. That's usually how you hear it. Or some people just get lazy and say green, 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 or what have you. So ace report is what you're doing after the assault, just for the whole consolidation portion. So you can spread load ammo and get ready for any sort of counterattack that might be coming. But yeah, really, before you ask for the ace reports, you want to make sure you push the people around, get behind some better cover, and get your position laid out a little bit better than what we see right here. But again, these are the light armored reconnaissance kind of guys, so makes sense. Oh, there you go. Okay. Cool. That is some very, very cool training. Now, of course, I'm going to be very judgmental towards the Marines just because I know what they should be doing, and it's easier for me to pick up on certain things that they, messed up on. But, I mean, this is very valuable training regardless. So when you get to train with your allies in all these different countries, they know the terrain better than you do, and they know what works and what doesn't work. So it's cool to get this training, because when you start operating in a bunch of different environments, you get a feeling for what works and then what doesn't work in certain environments. So it's very valuable. I never got to work with the Finns or train in Finland, but I trained with like the Brits a bunch. I trained with the Israelis, Romanians, Bulgarians, dudes from Serbia, Slovenians. Yeah, we trained with a bunch of different people basically. So it's really cool to see how they do certain things, and it's pretty easy to see what works and what doesn't work on our side and on their side. So it's valuable training regardless. So even though it's not necessarily as clean as it could be, this is raw training. So it's not made to be training for the camera or be like a motivational video. So it's all like real footage. So it's cool to see, and it's cool to learn from this sort of stuff. But yeah, very solid training. So I do appreciate this recommendation. I didn't really know that there was a whole lot of training going on with the U.S. and Finland, especially in Finland itself. So it's cool to see these sort of training videos. I know we do like skiing training and cold weather training in the areas like that, but yeah, I didn't know that we had like these other training events. So very cool to check out. I do appreciate this recommendation. Again, I do have a long list of recommendations, so I'll try to keep prioritizing it based off of how many recommendations I'm actually getting for that specific topic. But yeah, keep the recommendations coming, especially if there's any new videos that come out that I just happen to miss, especially from like the Finnish Defense Forces YouTube channel. If you guys want me to check it out, definitely let me know so I can put it higher up on my list and make it a little bit more timely, so I'm not reacting to stuff that's like, a month old or, years old. But yeah, very cool video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up, and again, feel free to comment and let me know what you think. Leave any recommendations for anything that you think I might be able to improve on, or anything you'd like to see in the future. But very cool to check out, especially because I get to talk smack on the LAR Marines. But yeah, very, very fun, very cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is it for this one. I will see you all in the next one.